Thank you, Amarnath Reddy garu. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the panelists and all the good work they're doing. Srini from Infosys, Vishnu Kumar from Vishnu Academy, and the Oracle Chief. It's really inspiring to hear the kind of work that these people are doing. And I thank you all for coming here. Visakhapatnam, I think all of you are aware, it's a tier 2 city and just growing as an IT hub, and the government is doing all its best to promote IT to take shape in Visakhapatnam. We have recently built a 1 lakh square feet office on a hilltop facing the sea. It's one of the most picturesque locations you will ever see on this planet. So I would request all of you to come to Vizag and see what's going on there, to really understand what's happening there. It's not like in Hyderabad, all the hustle and bustle of traveling 1 hour, 2 hours to office. It just takes you 15-20 minutes, and it's a wonderful environment, less polluting and very peaceful. And about 30 to 40% of the workforce working in Hyderabad are from that district. Visakhapatnam Srikakulam is about 200 kilometers around Vizag. You have about 40% of the workforce working in Hyderabad. It's not that people are born and brought up in Hyderabad that are working here. Many companies, or all the multinational companies, I mean, we are doing about 30,000 crores of exports from Andhra, and I think all of it is coming from Hyderabad except about 700 crores from Visakhapatnam. So there's a huge potential for IT business to pick up in Vizag. And I would request the multinational companies or the audience to have the interest to come to Visakhapatnam and do business with Visakhapatnam and learn in Visakhapatnam. That's about the tier 2. The challenges we are facing in tier 2 cities and in IT industry in general, where people and JKC can help, is that like the previous speakers have mentioned, there are about 700 odd engineering colleges in the state of Andhra Pradesh. These engineering colleges were set up within a broad perspective of providing good quality education when people were going to neighboring states. The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, the previous governments of Andhra Pradesh, allowed, what is the background behind this? People from Andhra were going to Karnataka to study previously. But now there are 700 engineering colleges churning out about 2.5 lakh people of extremely poor quality graduates who are not employable by more than 5%. You can check with the statistics with any of the people on the ground here. The basic point I want to impress all of you, and I want all of you to take part in this, is you have to understand what's going wrong. We have 60% of these people being fees reimbursed by the government of Andhra Pradesh. 60%. So these are institutions just making money without doing anything. 60% of the business is assured when the fees is being reimbursed. If you understand why poor quality education is coming out, because of this, everybody wants to set up an engineering college, and most of them belong to non-educational backgrounds. They do it for a fancy, they do it for pride, and they do it for the ego. And what is the quality of the people teaching there? They are 2-year-old, 3-year-old graduates. Fresh graduates. These are the people. I have seen people who are working in my company for 1 year going and as faculty to engineering colleges. This is horrible, and you have to address this situation. Is there any ranking for our engineering colleges in the state of Andhra Pradesh? That is where I request JKC to come in and rank these 700 engineering colleges. For example, Vishnu Kumar Raju has said excellent things about it. I have not heard about it so far. People don't know about quality educational institutions. We need to disseminate this information. Do you know which college is ranked at which place? Your child or your friend is studying in what ranked? Does Srini Nagesh here know? The person is hiring, what is the rank of that college? Does Shalini from TCS know? What is the rank of the college that person is coming? Nobody knows. We don't have. Pardon? That's what I'm saying. That has to be evolved by a panel. It cannot be an individual opinion. In general, no. How do we rank 700 odd engineering colleges? We can do this in the.
Excuse me.
No.
Hello. Let the panelists complete and then we can come back with comments later.
There are 700 odd engineering colleges producing people where 90% of them are not even good at keyboard skills. They don't even know how to type properly. They are not even good at lower typing and higher typing. Forget higher skills. 90% of the people whom we have tested in the rural areas are not even good at lower and higher typing. You can conduct a random test and see in all the engineering colleges, you will be shocked to know they cannot even pass a test of lower or higher typing. And communication, can they communicate live with a US or a UK client? 90% of them cannot. It is not because they are wrong or the engineering college is wrong. It's just because they are not aware of it. Nobody has told them that this is what is required before you pass out of engineering, to have skills to speak to a UK or a US call center executive. They may not be doing a call center job or a data entry job, but these are the fundamental skills required to have at least a minimum or higher load, because they need to spend 20-25 years of their life on the keyboard. And they have to do business with foreign countries. The ability to learn foreign languages. So one of the requests I made to Amarnath Reddy last time was to set up an institute of foreign languages in a tier 2 location like Vizag, which also teaches English of high quality, where people can go abroad and deal with US citizens as if they are one of the citizens, not just for the sake of learning. So a institution like the ISB, like Indian School of Business, what is there in Hyderabad, we need an institute of excellence which teaches English and foreign languages. We have to go and diversify other markets where they learn German, they learn French, Japanese or German. This kind of initiatives from JKC will really help. And the kind of programs that Infosys is running and Oracle is running, not only to JKC, I would make it a part of all engineering colleges. So just to answer the question about the poor quality of education, recently Kapil Sibal has denotified about 35 universities. They have denotified 30. These universities were set up with a lot of funds and much better than all the engineering colleges available here. They had a lot of planning went into it, a lot of research went into it. But why did he denotify? He is a person of eminence. I am not saying he did it just because he denotified 35 universities, deemed universities, just because they were lacking on many parameters. The same thing needs to happen in Andhra Pradesh. At least 50% of these engineering colleges need to be denotified. They do not have quality infrastructure. They do not have quality fact. It's a fact. We are not trying to blame. Maybe there are 100 engineering colleges of excellent repute. Like he was doing outstanding work, Vishnu Kumar Raju. I don't know. Maybe there are 100 top-notch engineering colleges which are on par with the best of the world. I'm not talking about the top 100 engineering colleges which have excellent quality and which are doing a great job of providing employment. We are talking about the rest 600. What are we doing about it? Why are we allowing this nonsense to happen in Andhra Pradesh? Anybody can set up, and there are no parameters to regulate what they're doing. And let us talk about attendance. In a software company, we have an average billing of 19 to 20 days. If you take out the 8 work days, one festival day, 12 holidays in a year, and about 20 odd leaves they have, there are only 19 to 20 billable days in a year. In a month, we only have 19 to 20 billable days in a month. And people are not trained from engineering college level. There's a fees reimbursed program, which I was talking about. Last week, the government of Andhra Pradesh said, they will now modify it so that only people who are eligible for 75% attendance will be eligible for fee reimbursement program. You understand what I'm talking about? Now they have introduced a system where they will reimburse only fees for people who have minimum of 75% attendance. What happened all this while? You reimburse fees for any idiot who's coming and joining engineering college? Even according to me, the 75% also is not applicable. Why will you get salary if you come for 75% of your time to your office? Will the faculty of engineering college be paid if they come for 75% of their time? Why should you allow an engineering graduate to be fee reimbursed or even enter the college if he is having not less than at least 95% attendance? I may be called radical if I say 90, but why? Then why can't we allow that for the faculty also to have 75% attendance and get payrolls and all the employees also to have? So this is the kind of mindset we are preparing the mind of the student in engineering college, where we are taught to allow him to have fun and not attend college at least for 95% of the time. Unless we change that, where Vishnu Kumar Raju, I think he can start an example for his engineering college where at least 95% of the people will have attendance there. So we start with the basics. If you don't drill it into the student's head that they have to come regularly, then they will put pressure. If the quality of the education is not good, then they will go and sit in the principal's office. Why are you wasting my time here? So if we put pressure on them, they will go and put pressure on the managements. And the managements will be forced to hire good quality faculty. And then they will take help from JKC or Oracle or Infosys. I would request Amarnath Reddy to have this program, what Oracle is having or Infosys is having, or be put as a part of regular program for all the engineering colleges. All the engineering colleges must take this and implement this. And other discussion that came about of Android operating system, like there is Google Open Office. How many people in engineering college know how to use all the systems in Google Open Office? All big companies are moving from paid to open source and free softwares. So if people like JKC make it a point to tell people how to use Open Office, how to use Google Open Office, how to use Google Android across all engineering colleges, if you disseminate this information and tell people that you need to come 95% of the time, you need to learn English. So if the English is taught, foreign languages are taught, basic typing skills are taught, and then you teach about emotional intelligence, how to deal with the client, how not to get upset when the client changes specifications, you don't blame the client, how not to push the blame game. This kind of small soft skills, if they are made part of the curriculum, and unless they pass all these things, they are not given an educational degree. So unless people like eminent people write to the government saying that this is minimum steps required, and all of you also rise to the occasion and call the bluff. We have system of ranking. We take action against people who are not performing, because these 2.5 lakh people who are passing will not have a future later on. If we allow this to happen, only 20,000 people will be employed. What happens to the 2.2 lakh people? Where will they go? So last request is, if it's possible, we need to tell them to become faculty also, to teach these people to become faculty in third year and fourth year. If I identify people who are good at teaching and mentor them, we have some special award programs from Government of Andhra Pradesh or JKC or institutions like Infosys. The teacher reward program, we can provide them alternative careers except computer science, or they can come back and teach in the same college. If we help them with that initiative, I think it will help improve the quality of education and employability now across the sectors. Thank you.